Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Thursday, the 4th of January, the 17th of Teves. Here we go. Today we tackle the laws about saying Birchas Hagomel, or what people call benching Gomel, those laws and how they apply to when you fly in an airplane. Rav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal was of the opinion that any airplane flight, whether it crosses water or dry land, requires a Birchas Hagomel the next time you're at Shul and called up to an Aliyah. You say that Birchas Hagomel. If you're not familiar with what that is, you could ask at Shul or see it in any good siddur. And Rav Moshe claimed that you were eligible for that bracha whether you flew over dry land or water. Rav Elyashiv and Rav Scheinberg were of the opinion that it only applies to flights over water. You only say Birchas Hagomel according to them when you cross over water. The custom that most people follow is that let's take a flight like for example, from New York to Florida. The pilot actually flies that flight mostly over water, and Rav Belsky was of the opinion that we don't say a Birchas Hagomel on that. Rabbi Yashav was of the opinion that you do say Birchas Hagomel certainly when you have a cross-Atlantic flight. And if you stop over along the way, like you cross over the Atlantic and you land in England and you're there for a little while, but you're continuing on to Israel, let's say, so he says, of course, don't say the Birchas Hagomel until you get to Israel at the end of your destination. If you're in a So before I go farther, I've thrown out a bunch of opinions for you. So before I continue, I should just say that this is going to leave it as a bit of a an argument. So it's going to be unclear what exactly you should do. Some people say certainly for a cross-Atlantic flight. Some people say yeah, but not a flight from New York to Florida. So I'm just educating here, and you should really ask your rabbi who paskins for you and say, I'm flying from New York to London. Do I or do I not bench Gomel when I get there? And have your good, competent halachic rabbi decide that for you. Okay. Now, if you're in a group, the certainly one leader of the group could say the Birkas Hagomel for the entire group, and it's not necessary for each and every person to say the bracha. When he says it for the group, he should think in his mind that he's saying it to fulfill the mitzvah for them, and they should have in their mind that they are having him fulfill the mitzvah, and they're receiving the mitzvah from him. Okay, we're going to continue on with a little bit more, and that is some laws about you traveling and you see some oceans. So the general rule is that there is a bracha when seeing the ocean, if you haven't seen it in a long time, and the bracha is Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam oseh ma'aseh bereishis, God who creates the actions of Bereshis, of the great creation at the beginning. If you see the Mediterranean Sea, well, let me backtrack. The Gemara says that if you see the Yam HaGadol, the Great Sea, then you should say Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam Asa es hayam hagadol. Okay, but there's a bit of a debate as to what sea is called the Yam Hagadol. The Shulchan Aruch says the Yam Hagadol is the Mediterranean Sea, and most of the poskim say that it's a debate about that, but they summarize it like this: that when you see the Atlantic Ocean, then you would make the bracha of Osa Ma'aseh Bereishis, and when you see the Mediterranean Sea, you would say the bracha of Asa es Hayam Hagadol. Now this too is a lot of these brachas are a debate amongst the rabbis. I would encourage you also to ask this question to your rabbi. If you know you're going to see the Mediterranean Sea and you haven't seen it in a while, or you know you're going to see the Atlantic Ocean and haven't seen that in a while, or the Pacific Ocean, do ask your rabbis, because according to many, a bracha should be recited when seeing them. If you're going to go see Niagara Falls, many say that you're supposed to say a bracha on that, but do discuss it with your rabbi who paskins for you, who's a good, competent halachic authority. We're just giving you the generalities here, and your rabbi should decide for you. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.